which was formed by older persons and is run by older persons by the name of Central Region Older Persons Association, CROPA. Then at the same time, I am the secretary for the District Committee for Older Persons of Wakiso. So those are my two
hustles.
Wakiso District, then CROPA.
Do you classify yourself as a hustler?
Oh, everybody's a hustler in this one. You hustle in one way or another.
All the persons also hustle.
Oh yeah, because if we don't, then we degenerate.
Let's talk about the theme. Of course, we want to say, just like you've talked to us, who is an old person. But of course, old, as we age, we have different health issues, health challenges. And of course, we want to learn how to age well and of course, remain productive in our societies, in our families, so that people do not see us as a burden.
Exactly.
You know, the moment you start aging, people start seeing it as a problem, especially in our society where we are all battling to look for money. In the families where there is some money, aging is lively, right? Because they take care of you, you are loved, you are cherished. But in our society, when you're aging, you find that actually they are sharing you. For example, if you have like 4 sons, one takes you for 1 week, another one 1 week, another one 1 week, literally you do not love yourself. Let's go back to the theme for the World Older Persons Day.
Now, the Ugandan theme for the International Day for Older Persons is enhanced household incomes, a key to dignity and respect for older persons. Now, the situation you have been describing is a situation where an older person ages and he starts becoming dependent on the children, on the family, the children, the grandchildren, and that has been our norm in Uganda. When an older person, when a parent ages, then he becomes a responsibility of the children. They start looking after the muzee or the mama. Now, that is something we want to change because that kind of arrangement is fast fading away because the children we produce, the Kamaras here, they leave us in the village and they come to Kampala and they start their own lives. So in 30 to 45 years time, 30 to 40 years time, maybe you find that you who started with your darling, your sweetheart, you produce children, the whole house was full of noise and lively and you would be... Now they start going away one by one and then you find yourselves only 2 in the house.
Again, the way you were
the way you started is the way you end. But this time, you don't have the energy. The body has weakened, Madam's body has weakened, yours has weakened, and the earning capacity has fallen sharply. It reduces. So if you are working for government or for other agencies, you have retired. And if you have been living off the land or off the animals, which is about 80% of older persons, they employ themselves. So you find now you can't do what you used to do. So you become dependent on the children. But now the children have moved off. They moved to Kampala, they moved to Cheyo in the east, they moved to Dubai, UK.
They're hustlers.
So you find that now what you have to depend on whatever money they send you, a little. That is if they send, because some of them don't. So now we must migrate from that kind of traditional way of looking after older persons, where the family and the community used to take care, and an older person must keep on working as much as possible, because you have to keep healthy, because you must keep earning, and you must keep in saturation of your peers in the community. So in this year's theme, enhanced household income is very key. Now, during the past years, maybe you were strong when you were 40, 50, 60, 65 and 70, and you would earn. But now, when you become older, 70, 79 to 80, you find you can't go to the field or you can't go and look after the cows. So there must be something you are doing at home that is income generating. So that if you have, for example, pressure and you want medication, you can buy it for yourself. If you want some kilo or if some salt or some sugar, which you shouldn't be taking, or some, if you don't have greens at home, a few things that you need at home, you
If you want
can
to do a medical checkup.
a medical
maybe
checkup,
yourself,
which is very, very important, you can pay for those things.
for yourself.
That's why we say that the older persons that we have now, from 60 above, should not stop working. They should continue working and enhancing their household incomes. Now here, we want the government to do its part. Because these are people who have been supporting government through taxes, directly or indirectly, for many years, like 4 decades. So right now, and they have produced the children, the 70% of the population in Uganda who are the working age, who are paying taxes. So we think through tax collections of the government should now remember the 2.5 older persons in the country and do something. And they are already doing it. The first one is SAGE.
What is SAGE?
SAGE is the other 25,000 they give to older persons per month. And there is another program which is SEGOP, and that is especially for people who are 60 to 79. And they group themselves in, for example, 5 to 10 maximum, 5 minimum, 10 maximum. And they are given 5 million to start an income generating activity at home. And that this can be, and they should do the same thing. It can be poultry, it can be piggery, it can be keeping goats, it can be coffee or anything, because older persons are majorly in agriculture, either annual or crop. So, and that is where the biggest percentage of older persons fall, 60 to 79. Now, the government, the president promised this program, Special Enterprise Grant for Older Persons. He promised 10 billion per year for the whole of Uganda. But the Ministry of Finance, I think the first financial year, which was 3 years back, they released 5. Then the following, I think 3.5, then 3.5. I'll check the facts. So the promise was 10 billion per year. Then it started falling until it's now maybe like 2 or 3.5. We shall check with Mr. Menya. And now, that's the thing that should be reflected in this year's
theme.
Yes, enhancing the incomes of older persons' households. Now, the other 25 for 80 people, or for 80 years and above, of 25,000 shillings per month, payable after 3 months, which is 75, is like a blood transfusion. Mokade is very bad loaf. So infuse him with the 25 pounds. Infuse him. So the body, it is as if we talk in those terms, the body, he has now failed to manufacture blood. So you take him to blood transfusion. But in actual fact, the older persons between 60 and 79 should be, so to speak, manufacturing their own blood. So this facility, the Special Enterprise Grant for Older Persons, should actually increase from 10. They should be pushing more money into that program rather than the other one, the other infusion of blood, the SAGE, more money should be in the SEGOP because it will help a bigger percentage of older persons to start generating income, making their own Musai blood, as they say. So that's where the older persons need help, because the other time they used to help themselves and help their children. A man has 9 children, 8 children. He looks after them, doesn't buy a shoe, doesn't buy a motorcycle, stops by, sells the things, educates all the 9 children. Some of them start working, others don't work. But then when he remains with a wife, or by bad luck one of them goes, the other children now find it difficult to look after one parent. But then if he has got some support from government and is enterprising and is not very old, then they can look after themselves by starting small enterprises, home-based enterprises. They can. So this theme, as it stands now, enhanced household income, is a key to dignity and respect for older persons. If, Kamara, if I'm your father and you come to my home with the children, and I'm happy, but then you don't find there anything at home to eat, then when you are going, maybe you have to leave me something. You will tolerate it for a few visits in a year or 2. Then after that, the children and the grandchildren start looking at the older person, at the muzei, at the jaja, at the grandfather as a beggar. And that is not good for the dignity of older persons. It's not good for the respect of older persons. So that's why they should be helped to be attractive to their offspring, so that they can keep on visiting. If he has chicken, if my grandmother has chicken at home, layers, and the children come, and when you are going, by the time you arrive, you tell the kids, go, boiled eggs are there, or some milk or something, and when they are going back, you say, have this liter, or have this 5 jerrycan liter of milk, take it. Have a tray of eggs, you take it. So the kids now, they will be thinking now, when is it holiday time and we go? That's what we used to.
Very much.
Yes. They say, when is it going to be holiday? Then you go to visit grandfather, because bananas will be there, ripe bananas, pawpaws will be there. But then everything would be there. But now here is a situation where we are going, where the children and their fathers, the offspring of the older persons, are tired of going home, because it is like when you go, then Muzei wants a grandmother, wants something to So this is a very good, it's very timely. This thing is timely. I was telling Mr. Patrick Menya, I sent him a message, I said, please, we have arrears on this SEGOP program of about 11 billion or 12 billion. I was saying, now, if you draft some speech for some of your bosses, or if you are the one going to give the speech, please mention that the older persons between 60 and 79 have got arrears of about 12 billion. So maybe if they can now pay it to the older persons through the Ministry of Gender, it would enhance the household income. Exactly. Because the other 121 billion per month, per year, for the people who are 80 and above, is too little to manufacture blood. It is, as I told you, it is like a blood transfusion, and it is 121 every year for the SAGE. And for SEGOP, I told you the president promised 10, which is less than 10% of the other one. And yet this is the money that would be enhancing household income, but it is at 10 billion. The other one, which is like welfare, is at 121. So the population we should be making use of money and multiplying it is given 10, and the other one, which is for feeding only, is 121. That is the paradox.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Murusia Henry. Now, of course, you've talked about quality of life, and of course, we want to focus more on that because this is a health and beauty program where we want to ensure that our old persons, our senior citizens, right? Isn't that too much better?
Yeah, much better. Okay.
Because you guys have lived in this country for
and people like titles. If you say senior citizen, that's good. But if you say Kakade, of course, nobody, people will, the Muzee will find it sort of abusive, insulting, yes.
So, as a senior citizen, what are some of the ways that can older persons prepare to keep doing to maintain their quality of lives? Away from getting money, there are some of those maybe lifestyle behaviors that you as an individual, you want to tell the public about preparing yourself to a quality of life.
Okay. They say, did I read it somewhere, that health begins at home.
That's Professor Maslow.
Okay, very good. Health begins at home. So, in order to prepare for healthy aging, a person should start at home. Number one is the nutrition. Kamara, you are the one who you normally come on our radio program at UBC, and we run a health education program which we call Healthy Aging, and we educate our older persons about nutrition. What should a person who is preparing for a longer health span eat, or how should they be eat? So we tell them through you people, the nutritions, concentrate on fruits and vegetables, concentrate on proteins, especially plant proteins, concentrate on hydration, make sure your body is hydrated properly. So that is the nutrition. Then keep your body physically active, either through gardening, through walking, through cycling. I will not talk about swimming because that is a very small percentage, but gardening, follow the cows if you have cows, or if, for example, you are urban centered, start walking at least 30 minutes every day, so that you keep your body active. Then another one is to keep your mind active. Read, discuss, write. If you are able, write project proposals, keep reading, watch news, be in the know of whatever is taking place around you. So you are feeding yourself with all the nutrients. Your body is active, your mind is active. Then, in order to keep the mind settled, circulate, keep on communicating, be into the community, take part in community affairs or national affairs.
Community work.
Community work, community discussions. For example, move around and visit your own home visits, move and visit your fellow age mates. Make a home sale, make like 10 of you if you are in a parish. Keep rotating amongst yourselves.
Okay.
But then again, interact with the younger generations. Because it is very important. Like you. Exactly. You shouldn't isolate yourselves from the community, especially from the younger generations. So you'll find that, number one, the younger generation will now if you start telling them, you advise them, and you don't advise them from a point of view of being a rugezi-gezi, but you tell them, if he has a problem, you tell them, I passed through that problem about 40 years ago, and the advice I'm giving you is not because I know everything, but because when I wanted to make a decision like you are about to make, I made a mistake, and I learned from that mistake. So if you pass here, you know that the decision you make has got attendant consequences. And if the decision is negative, the consequences will be negative. But if you pass here and you make a positive decision, the consequences will be positive. For example, if, for example, you are interacting with a young girl or a young boy, let's talk about a girl, and you tell them, the way I see you in puberty is maybe your granddaughter, or your friend in the village has called you and she's a grandmother and she has a granddaughter who is beginning to we call it misbehaving, eh?
Or being hyperactive.
That's what maybe you call that's what you call it. So the Mukade, because of the other community interaction, may call you and said, please come and talk to my granddaughter. She's doing so. You interact with your granddaughter and you give advice. Say, if I've heard this from your grandmother, she tells me you do this. In class time, they see you in town or something. So you educate her. You are at a stage where your body is pumping you with the hormones, and you are listening to a lot of your friends, their peer pressure. But then you are going to find boys are going to start telling you this and this, they love you, etc. But then if you make a decision like ABC,
it's going to result to this one.
It will result in this and that and the other. And those other follow-up will also bring you, for example, if you are talking about pregnancy, you'll say now you'll become pregnant, then after that you'll produce a child with a father that is not with you, and therefore the next thing is like this, you're out of school, you have to look after your child, then you produce another one. But if you resist and stay in school, that decision you have taken will have multiplier effects in your life. You stay in school, you get a profession, etc. So we interact with them. So we shouldn't...
And that actually improves makes you remain productive.
And relevant.
Very.
Relevant in the community. So
what other ways can older persons remain relevant?
For example, we can... but that is community. Even the one I'm going to tell you is about community. Now, we have a problem with land. You media people, you've been seeing here problems in the land. An old woman has been chased away. A family is being chased away from their land. Now, in the old times, traditionally, it's the people who were our age, who used to be mediators, or who used to solve land conflicts, things over community conflicts, for example. Let me not...
Even marriage, gender-based violence.
Exactly. Everything. So, but now you'll find that those conflicts are
taken to court,
channeled to the police and to the court. And the police and the courts of law, I think it is because of the education system that we had. They are trained to give a win-lose solution. So if there are two parties, maybe it is on land, one must win, another one must lose. But for older persons, once you are mediating two conflicting parties in the village, in the community, it is normally back in the old times, it would be a win-win. Let's go to the site. So you said, now please, you did bad, or this one did bad. So they will say, please talk about it.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Henry Murustia, a senior citizen. And of course, we want to thank you for watching Good Television. And of course, we are still talking about the World Day of Older Persons. And of course, here in Uganda, it will be celebrated in Jinja. And of course, we want to say that it's very critical and important to consider older persons' views when it comes to health matters, improving their quality of lives, and knowing that they're still relevant in our societies. And of course, just like we began with telling you that every person is liable to aging. So whether you like it or not, whether you're short or tall, whether you're brown or dark-skinned, you are liable to aging, and it's a must. We'll go for a short, quick break, but when we return, we'll discuss more on health issues or common health challenges that older persons go through. See you shortly.
Good Day TV, transforming your life.
Wayagala ebyuma ebirungi ebyogera Pasita Pasiteri atunda nange ngoma ne gita zonna Pasita Pasiteri amplifier n'emizindalo Pasita Pasiteri ebitala bya siteji ebyebika byonna Pasita Pasiteri ebyuma bya events tubirina byonna Pasita Pasiteri awujudde wa screen tupangisa Pasita Pasiteri kukizimbe kya Newmark William Street Pasita Pasiteri katindo kendayo musajja mwesigwa kituufu endoja gisoboka ekibanja mpola akikwata bagulebye ekkanisa jangu ewa Pasita Pasiteri
tusangibwa ku kizimbe kya Newmark ku William Street ku ground floor room number N31 opposite DFCU Bank. Esimu noti 782 00 84 ne noti 752 00 84 wano wokka we tusangibwa.
Good Day TV, transforming your life.
Thank you so much for watching Good Day Television. Just like Health and Beauty program is every single Wednesday at 9 p.m. with me, Kamara Daniel. And just of course, you all know that being old is not a disease. Being old, it's not infectious. Being old is a blessing and prestigious in presence of God and to the people who honor aging. And just like me, I'm a nutritionist. I love people who are aging. And that's why we're here on Good Day Television, Health and Beauty, talking about the quality of life for the older persons. And just, we have Mr. Henry Murusia. And of course, we want to look into the common health issues and challenges that older persons go through. Maybe it could be maybe non-communicable diseases, it could be self-care deficit or negligence, it could be, and all this rotates on the quality of income or income. Just like he began with the budget they allocated to and what the government has done. Mr. Henry Rugumira,
Yes, please.
take us through now the current health issues. You as an old person, what you've experienced or what you've seen in public.
We have several health issues which are brought about by age. They are age-related, I think, maybe because the body has weakened and it doesn't fight off infections. But normally at our age, you find people with, they start developing high blood pressure. And that one is a very common one. And we have diabetes, people become diabetic. People start having prostate problems, men especially, and these days it's very rampant. So those are the things we go through. There are several. Cancer of the uterus, things of that nature. Now, with pressure, we get medication from our government facilities. Of course, and what we call sukari.
The diabetes.
And diabetes. But then you people advise us, the nutritionists and some other doctors, that some of these things are reversible. Before they cross a certain threshold, by change of lifestyle. For example, for us, we educate our older persons on our WhatsApp group that if you wake up early in the morning, the first thing you should do is take a glass of warm water, not hot water. We used to say hot water, but the other gentleman, the head of the Cancer Institute, said, don't take hot water, take warm water. Because throat cancer is on the increase in Mulago there, within the population. So we warm water early in the morning, and then it does what, if the blood was thick, if you lost a lot of water through sweating at night, then your blood is less thick. It can flow through the veins. If you consistently do that, and you engage on plant-based diets, they say blood pressure may start to reverse. So we want to reverse most of the diseases which are reversible, or if it is beyond reversible, then you control. But if you are young, if you are, for example, you are 55 and you haven't developed them, it would be better to start practicing or to start having health habits that will prolong your healthy lifestyle. If, for example, you were to start having those illnesses at the age of 70, just make sure you take your lifespan, which is healthy, up to around 90, so that when they come for a few months and then you go back to the Lord. Instead of start suffering from 60 up to 80, when everybody will say, if Muzei can just rest, we would also rest. So we want to make sure, that we keep healthy. Avoid getting diabetes, avoid getting hypertension.
And kidney disease.
Kidney diseases, prostate.
In men.
In men. And actually they say that one of the ways to reduce prostate is to keep physically active. And if you're an old man and you are lucky you still have your wife, make sure that you engage in sex, let me say it the way it should be said. And she shouldn't say that you are now too old to do that. Because they understand, and this was told to me by a urologist, Dr. Kagwa. He was referring to my father. My father had prostate cancer, and he was around 80. Then he said, now, is the wife still alive? I said, no, she passed away. I said, what are we going to do? Because he should remain sexually active. So he said, now that the wife is dead, then we are going to castrate him, remove the testes. He told me that one of the feeders of cancer cells is the sperm, secretion of sperms. and sugar. So he said, so if you are an old man and you still have your wife, don't
Do the exercise.
don't abdicate your duties. Do the exercise.
I want us to now talk about the issue of the home-based care. It is rising in the morning and the evening, where now older persons are taken to homes, but also are given home caregivers. How is it improving the quality of life, and what are some of the challenges, and how do you think Uganda can adapt to this?
We are already on the way. We have an institution with whom we are collaborating, and it's called the Aged Family Uganda, and they train young boys and young girls in how to look after older persons in their homes, home-based care. And it is on the rise because of urbanization. Children come to Kampala, they come to Masaka, so they become urbanized. Now, when the musees are in their homes, they have no care. If they give them house girls and house boys, those are the ones now who torture them mentally. So, in order to raise, to improve the well-being of their parents, they bring them to the country, they bring them to their city homes and employ a trained health caregiver or a trained health care aide. These are the people who know how to bathe, especially those ones who are frail. These trained young boys and girls are the ones who know how to handle them, how to talk to them. But it's unfortunate that the government doesn't have a say in this training. For example, in Uganda, we have one doctor, I think there are two, who are called geriatricians. So in Uganda, we have one.
We have gerontologists.
We have gerontologists, but the other ones, for example, if they could train geriatric nurses into the ailments of older persons, what we have been talking about, it would help. Instead of training, I think, more doctors, they could train maybe like 10 geriatric nurses per district.
Or include geriatrics on the package for doctors also as a specialist.
Yes, yeah, that as a special, okay. But instead of going to the doctors, let them add a course unit in the nursing training curriculum, so that each nurse who comes out of training has got an idea of how to handle an older person. Imagine a judge in a line at the health center, and this is a Mzee who has got a problem maybe with the prostate and it has become incontinent. So he's in line with the young mothers, because young mothers are the ones who normally take children to the hospital. So, and in that process, maybe he wets his trouser, and the children will say, "Judge has urinated in the trouser," and the young ladies who are now the ages of his daughters-in-law will look the other side. So the Mzee feels very, very embarrassed. So when he goes back home, he may never come back to that hospital again. So he'll say, let me die at home in peace. But then if these nurses are trained and they see an older person and they are, because they are trained, they'll know this older person is frail and maybe he's like to have ABC, and then they get him out of the line and take him to a designated corner. And that is one thing that is like, that's a very big gap. We should have a designated corner for older persons, so that they don't delay in the lines.
What that causes stigma again, that I'm old, that I'm special, maybe, isn't it going now to be like a disability?
Because if...
I believe if you're in the same line, we can talk, we can what, so that we can remain...
No, now this one is a person, these are, we are talking about a health center. So
okay.
if we have a youth corner, and we have, and we have a corner or a ward for the pregnant women, and we have
a male ward. A female ward.
And a pediatric corner. You bring
Yeah, for the children ward.
So because of the frailty of the older persons, they should have their own corner with a nurse, male or female, who is trained in their problems. So that is one thing. That is a very big gap in our health services. But then we are not sitting. We are moving towards lobbying and advocating for that kind of situation, whereby old men and women have dignity and are respected. So that's where we want to go. The other problems we have loss of memory. You scientists.
Dementia.
Dementia. Those are the things that we
It's
have.
common.
It's common, whereby a man or a woman, an older person, will start forgetting even the names of the children that they produced. So who are you? Just remind me. Imagine your father now asking you, go home to Kanungu to visit Mzee, and Mzee says, who are all you? Hakunta kumanya. It would hit you very badly. To say, now Mzee is gone. So that kind of thing, that dementia. So you start slowly, then you decline gradually, and I think there is no recovery. So we don't want to reach there. That's why we say we must remain in circulation within ourselves, amongst the young generation, interact. Don't leave community affairs. Make sure you are very visible and very relevant in community affairs and national affairs. That's why we have now, we have structures for older persons, right from the village up to parliament. Because we want to remain visible. We want to remain active.
Very much.
Yes. So,
Wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Henry Murusia Gumira, for sharing all these experiences, expertise. You've begun with your budget. You've gone into the parliamentary structure. You've gone into health issues, common non-communicable diseases in elderly, and exploring the theme was very important, especially to us, the Ugandans, and how elderly people or older persons can remain relevant, can improve their quality of lives without burdening the society. Very abundant discussions here on Google Data Vision and Beauty program. Mr. Gumira, as we intend to conclude this program, we'd like to hear from your expertise again on the conclusion part. What's your call to the community? Because we want to call 3 people. Call to individuals. As individuals are aging, what's your last remark to them? To the community, where we stay, what's your call to the attitude and character, maybe about older persons? Then the third one is government, as we cross this program.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kamara. The call to the older persons is really simple. It's not difficult. The thing is to remain active in body and in mind and in talking, and keep your body active, keep your mind active, be active.
Go to church, be ushers.
Go to church. Don't stay at home. Don't sit. You know, we have a problem of saying Mzee now has retired, so they buy a very comfortable chair and put it on the veranda there in the shade, and the man sits, and he sits to death. You know, after about a few years, 10 to 5, he dies. So remain active. Now, in the community, my call to the community is that they should not look at older persons as a liability. And they shouldn't look at them as if they have finished their lifespan and they are just wasting food and medicine. These are people who have built the Uganda that you are living in. It is their contribution. So, but then in order for the community to have that mindset, it's the older person's initiative that will bring that kind of change of that picture. So we will not, I urge older persons to initiate that kind of mindset change by involving themselves in the community affairs, wherever they are, either at village level, at parish level, or at sub-county level. by participating in all government programs. Don't shy away from PDM, don't shy away from SEGOP, don't shy away from Operation Wealth Creation, don't shy away from politics. Get engaged, stay engaged in the community. Then to the government, my call is one, is that they should look more to the age bracket, which is 60 to 79, and push most of the support into that age bracket. But I'm not saying they should leave the other ones. They should support the other ones. But then these ones who are between 60 and 79, by the time they come to 80, maybe they will not need the handout of 25,000 or 50,000, or by that time maybe it may have reached 675. They may instead be donors in themselves because they kept in the market. That is my call to government. Push more money into SEGOP, into the age bracket of 60 to 79. But I'm not saying the government should leave the 80 to 70, 80 and above, but push more money in the still old but still active.
Thank you so
Mr.
much,
Kamara.
Mr. Rugumira Henry. In this important program here at Health and Beauty Program, Google Data Vision, we've discussed about who is an old person. We've looked into how to improve the quality of the lifestyle of older people here in the country. We've looked into the health challenges when it comes to health-seeking behavior in different health facilities. And the court government has been emphasizing more on the allocation of funds, the age bracket of 60 to 79, but also training more of geriatricians and in completing the geriatric medicine part of it to the curriculum for nurses and making it a specialist program here in the universities in the country. I am Kamara Daniel, your health presenter for this program. I hope to see you next Wednesday. Stay safe. See you.